Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you so much for choosing to spend a little bit of time with us whenever you come across this video. This is Real Talk with Real People, spiritual talk for spiritual people. Today, we have the beautiful Rayna from Oklahoma, and she has a little bit of a story, a little bit of you said something cool at the end that might be helpful to share. And I know nothing. I'm excited. Let's dive in. So I'm just going to pass the mic to you.
Okay. So yes, I grew up in Western Oklahoma. I grew up in a small town, kind of like where you're at, I think.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I good childhood. But also I am gonna preface it by saying I guess I could read people and feel energy and that kind of stuff at pretty young, like junior high-ish, and I was like, I didn't really know what that was, but okay, looky there. Gibbs is gonna say hi to everyone.
Hello,
That's
gorgeous.
just like Maui, okay?
Exactly.
Uh, yeah, big hugs. Okay, buddy, you're gonna have to get down. Um,
He knows you're giving attention to other people.
yeah, and he hears you, and that's one thing. Every time I get on the phone, friend, family, whatever, he has to get right in my face and be like, "Why are you talking?" He's sit right here with me. But anyway, yeah, like so. I guess that's a what empathic, which I had no idea what that was at
Hmm.
that time. So yeah, and also grew up in a neighborhood full of boys. So I grew up with mostly guy friends. I was one of the guys.
Yeah.
So once you get up into that age of driving and having boyfriends and girlfriends, it was a thing where they always wanted to come ask, ooh, what do you think about this person?
Yeah.
Or their little problems or whatever. So I was like, what is this? Why are you asking me?
Uh-huh.
But, as I got older, I knew that that was a thing. And also, being able to drive and, um, you know, I got obsessed with like glam band guitarists,
Okay.
like, Cinderella, Bon Jovi, Poison, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
So we all went to concerts a lot, like a whole lot.
Okay.
And it's a running joke still to this day that uh, being in the bathroom line at concerts, Rain is always going to meet somebody and know their whole life story and miss half the concert because like it just always happened.
Mhm.
And about I'll say in November, this past November, I went with a couple of girlfriends that I work with time. And there was a guy that we worked with who is in a band now. So we went out, met his wife, and we all got a table and started watching them. And I excused myself to the bathroom. Lo and behold, there's two ladies in there and just proceeded to tell me everything about what's happening in their life. And 20 minutes later, I go back out to my seat. And one of my friends is like, let me guess, you met someone in the bathroom. I'm like, how did you know? Yeah. So, anyway, there's that. So, I was just going to say, like when I started spiritual, usually I hear people say it a lot, but like that, it started from like a toxic relationship,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So, at that point in time, I guess, I mean, for me, it's like, I know there's something more than just this, right? There's something more. I know there is. He is knocking me all over the place. Sorry, guys. Uh,
We love the dogs. It's okay.
um, but and I also it just seems like people always start out with, well, I'm just gonna start meditating. It's like because you see it on TV, it's like, oh, these Shaolin monks out there sitting in nature. So it's like, I guess that's where I'll start. So I started there and I tried different kinds, and like kind of like in Jeff's talk where he talked about being silent and
Mm,
trying to meditate is kind of hard sometimes because thoughts swoop in and those kind of things. And so I found that a little hard. So I tried the ASMR ones, the little, like where they, I don't know, whisper. And I was like, oh, those are kind of creepy. Gave me some weird dreams. Like, no, we're not doing that.
mhm.
So I started guided meditations like he did and found some that I really enjoyed their voice. And I started doing it at night instead. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to let my subconscious kind of take the reins here. And, but you do feel it eventually, like changing, like intuition growing stronger and things like that. So
Mhm.
there was that. But then I'm like, what else? Because I think you start wanting to know more and know more and know more. So going down that type of rabbit hole, I had found like in your talk, like on Saturday, you mentioned things, like reading books and learning knowledge and all that stuff. That's great, right? But kind of not taking, I don't know, doing something actionable or whatever to people, you
Mhm.
know, had always happened. But I was like, so I started watching different like divine channelers and intuitive healers and stuff and learned a lot of information, like awesome stuff that has really helped me. But it also, they didn't always, sometimes it could be a little bit cryptic to me. Like if you're not in that lingo, if you're not in that world starting out, you kind of almost don't understand. So that's why I just kind of watched several different people.
Yeah.
Um, and then I started understanding the lingo and I started understanding, shadow work and those types of things. And beyond helpful. Um, so that was in 2016 with that thing. And then in 2017, I had kind of already all been on my journey and I met kind of like the love of my life. And uh, we met through mutual friends, like on social media, but we just started talking and oh boy, did we click. Like he was the same with music. Like that's just kind of really always been a big part of my life, music, kind of like you,
Yeah.
your. But mine's the rock and roll, blah blah, 70s and 80s. Um, so anyway, he was from Long Island, New York, and we met back and forth and got to know each other, and it was just wonderful. So in 2019, he moved here, and it was been a wonderful thing, wonderful. Um, and in February of 2022, Um, we had been watching like a Bigfoot series. I don't know why. You just thought that was fun. So we did that, and I had to go to work the next day. And so I told him I'm going to go to bed. And it was about 10 o'clock. So um, anyway, I woke up an hour later and I heard something really odd. And so I followed that noise and it led me to this bathroom. And he was standing in the mirror and I was like, what are you doing? And he turns around and a piece of steak in his hand and he is choking. And I knew that it was dire. So I ran as fast as I could, got my phone so that if I had to call 911, but I was going to run back and start Heimlich. I am in the medical field, so I do know, you know, um, by the time I got back, he was already passed out in the sink. So I did try to hold him up and do the Heimlich, and I couldn't. So I had to lay him down. I did call 911. He was still trying to breathe. I looked to see if I could see it, and I couldn't. Um, and I did have to do CPR. Uh, and IMSA came. They did get it out with forceps, and they did continue CPR, and they did get a functional rhythm, and that was great. And so they took him to the hospital and got him situated, and he was in the ICU. Of course, I did not go to work, obviously, and so he was in the ICU. He first couple of days was good. He was on life support because that was a traumatic blow to his body. And third night, I guess he started having seizures, and um, basically, what I got told is that he was not going to wake up, and uh, I was like, okay. So, I think being in that situation, a lot of things go through your mind, but I prayed, and God was there, of course. He was an organ donor, and his dad wanted to see if he could, be a candidate for that. So we did take him to um, the OR, where they do take out the breathing tube, and they give a window of 90 minutes to it for them to pass, and he did not pass. So we did take him back to the floors, where they do have a palliative care system where doctors come and talk to you about what you would like to do, and you know uh, but he had such a bad anoxic brain injury that it was just, I guess, just going to be time. So his dad chose to take him to hospice, which we did. And they're so kind there. Oh my gosh. They shave them and give them clothes, and, you know, um, but anyway, I stayed there, and he couldn't control temp. He would be in the 105s, 107s. And so I was so exhausted. I came home. I took a shower. And I slept. But they called me at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, "Can you please come?" So I did. And he was very, very labored breathing, and just he never opened his eyes or any of those things. But I I don't know why, but I felt like I had to say something. So I just went to him and got whispered in his ear, and I said, "Honey, you do not have to keep doing this." I said, "I know this is uncomfortable. I know fevers are uncomfortable. I know your breathing is uncomfortable. You really don't have to keep doing this." And also, I didn't tell you this, but his mother had passed in 2017.
Okay.
And so I also, you can go see your mother. And so anyway, I'm sitting there with me, and I went and sat back down, and he took a one big breath, and then another one, like 10 seconds, and then no more. So he went, and I said, "There it goes." I guess from getting awakened, at least somewhat, it helped a lot with that grieving process,
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
um, but still, um, I still it took a lot of time to myself, you know,
Yeah.
and that was in 2022, right?
Mhm.
So at the end of 2022, for whatever reason, YouTube showed me tarot. I didn't even know that was a thing at all. Like I knew what tarot cards were and I knew what it was, but to me, it made me think of that movie Big with Tom Hanks and like Zelle. And I was like, what the heck? These people are out here doing these readings and helping people. And it was like, I was like, this is so fascinating. I had no idea. So I, I started watching a few people and I came across you too, you, and I know how you feel about love readings. Obviously, I see that, and that's great. And I understand that because I wasn't going to tarot for that, but I see that a lot of people do. And but anyway, also I didn't know was that how big the collective was on this platform. And that I didn't have to like go through this by myself. You know what I mean? So that helped a lot too. And it was great. And I know I don't get in the chats a lot, but I do, I read people's comments and it's fun and it's funny and it's great that everybody can go there and have someone to talk to and do all that fun stuff. I think that is like awesome. Just fantastic. So thank you for that. I mean, it's a whole new world for me. It's like, and also learning stuff from everyday people, like learning about shadow work that you help people with that. And because a lot of people don't know what that is or how to do it.
Mhm.
So they just know that's a word that's coming through.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there is a one of the people that I watch. His name is Lee Carroll. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Who is
Uh,
it? Lee Carroll?
Lee Carroll. He's a divine channeler.
Okay.
Um, he's a guy that I guess started this back in the 80s. He was an engineer and then I guess became awakened. But anyway, he channels a benevolent energy called Cryon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so they travel a lot all over the United States and do workshops and seminars and things like that. And they do a little show. It's called The Circle of 12, and also another one called Healing Wednesdays. And
Mm-hmm.
they usually have a like a speaker, like a guest speaker. So this is where this comes in, the little fun thing. I think that would be fun. And they had a speaker on. Her name was Deborah DeLisi. Um, and she um, she has started a project. It's called the Abundant Love Project. And it all started from her 29-year-old daughter committed suicide. And she, I guess in her grieving process, she lived near a beach. So she started picking up rocks. Uh, and then at first, she passed her time, like she painted them. And she painted faces on them at first. And she went and I think she sold them like at like metaphysical fairs and things like that. But then she decided, she's like, she was going to start painting them and leaving them with a note and leaving them out at places for just someone to find.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh my God, she goes, I just want someone else, if they're grieving or if they're having a bad day, they're going to find this and they're going to, um, you know, I hope I can make them feel better. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought, oh my God, this is something I can do. I would so do that. But but yeah, uh, if somebody wanted to do that, they could do that. And if you didn't want to create your own notes, I went to her website and if she does have the note, I'm just going to read it to you because I think it's neat. Um, looks like that, but it says for someone very special, you're receiving this handmade stone as a gift because you are loved. Someone made this just for you, and it's yours to keep. This stone is a reminder that you are valued by your friends and family, and is a sign that you are treasured by so many others.
Hmm.
And and then at the bottom, it gives the Abundant Love Project website, Facebook, and Instagram. So if you want to show your stone, if you felt inspired to do so, you could do that. But yeah, it is called the Abundant Love Project. I've done 3 stones. The first 2 I gave to a good friend of mine. It was her birthday, and she's gone through a whole lot this year. And so I, I wasn't, that's not how you're supposed to do it, but I did it that way
Yeah.
because I can.
Right. Because says who?
Yeah. So I'm by no means an artist whatsoever. So I'm pretty sure my stuff looks kindergarten, but I still think it's the thought that counts.
Absolutely.
But I'm gonna show you this rock I did the other day. And I don't know why I put this stuff on it, but it just like came into a vision, I guess, in my head. Okay, don't mind the kindergarten.
Gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous. I do. And I feel like you said you don't know why. I feel like you probably channeled whoever. Are you gonna place that somewhere for somebody to find?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. But I just ordered these. They're like river rocks because I live in freaking the middle of the United States, and then we don't have many beautiful river rocks.
Uh-huh.
So anyway, I just ordered them and some paint pens and just so I was gonna start doing that. I even might do that at my work because I work at a children's hospital.
Yeah.
So
I love this. I love this. This is such a good, which the kids and I remember a few years ago where painting rocks like was a big thing in our area, and we would do the thing where you would like hide them, right? And then you'd replace it, like if you went rock hunting, right, you'd find a rock and then you'd replace it with one that you made, and then you'd take that one, you know what I mean? And it was just
oh
like
yeah.
big rotation. But I love this idea as well, like the note. And also for people who are just looking for something to do to
Hmm.
lift people's spirits. I love this. This is
I
awesome. I also had another question. Um, so first of all, I'm terribly sorry for your loss. My
thank you.
condolences. You're very strong. That was not even that long ago, and you're very strong.
Thank
Yeah. And I'm not crying, you're crying. But so how before the rocks, was there something else? Like, was there something that you would just like, was there a trick to your grieving?
Um, you know, I isolated myself quite a bit, but the friend I told you about
Mhm.
that I gave the rocks to, we would go fishing. We
Okay.
would go out in nature. I just think I needed to get out of this house
Mhm.
and do something that was enjoyable. And and we talked a lot because they were good friends too,
Yeah.
her and my family. So I guess just having someone close. But yeah, I think if I wouldn't have started things before meeting him, that it probably would have been a lot harder.
Yeah.
And, I didn't do, like like grief counseling, or because I just felt like, you know, I don't know. I just felt like that I was in a good spot with God and that I could get through this and, focus on what I needed to do. And,
Good.
and
So it
good.
was your connection that really, yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yep. I totally. Totally
Yeah.
resonate with that. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was kind of what I wanted to speak about. And
I'm
I
so
just
glad
thought,
you shared.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if anyone wants to do that, Abundant Love Project, that's the name of it. And they do it like it's kind of gone global. So it's
Yeah.
pretty neat. And it's neat to go look on her page because people do show their rocks and it's everywhere. So
That's
it's,
awesome. I
yeah.
will, what I'll do also is I'll try to find it and maybe add the link in the description box of this for
That'd
people
be,
so they can go. Yeah, because I think it's so cool that she has those papers that, you can print out.
yeah, I just put it out and you cut them,
Mhm.
little. So you can attach it like with a rubber band or whatever. But I put my rocks like in a, not a Ziploc bag, well, kind of, like a clear bag or whatever. And that
Yeah.
way people see it
Yeah.
and know what it is.
Yeah.
They're up going, oh, somebody left their present right there.
Right. Somebody forgot their present.
So
Oh goodness, that is so cool though. I love that. Um, yeah, thank you for taking the
you're
time and sharing. I'm sure that you've probably inspired a lot of people. I can almost just feel all the people getting up right now to go find rocks and start painting them.
go find rocks, not kick rocks. Okay. Just go find rocks.
Yeah, paint the rocks. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's really good for like tapping into your creative energy too. And like again, like you said, you were like, I don't know, these visions just these images just came to mind. Like I'm sure that there's purpose in that. You know what I mean? I'm sure that you're channeling and whoever finds that, there's going to be synchronicity in that. And I think it is I love the way the universe like works like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just so freaking cool. It blows my mind
Right.
oftentimes.
But I was like, I don't know what these arrows are doing. And I don't know. I was thinking of a Cupid. I don't, it's just weird. All four of these things just came in mind. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put it all on here. Can I
Yep.
make it? I think so.
I think it's
So,
wonderful. I think it's
yeah.
wonderful. Yes, thank you so much for sharing.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
yeah,
I,
absolutely. And thank you to everyone for listening. And hopefully you get up and go get some rocks and start painting them, spreading some joy in little tiny ways through creativity. I love that so much. So yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Uh,
right. Have a good day.
what'd you
I'm,
say?
I said, have a good rest of your day. And I'm trying to catch a dog hair in the
Yeah.
air.
Yes, everyone have a fantastic day, and we will see you next time.